I got the red rose one. Do you know that
Oh, that
brand?
sounds yummy. Wait, I've heard of it. It's like black tea or like a
I
random
don't know.
tea.
It's like a red tea kind of deal. I don't know, but it's not rose. It's something. I'm gonna put it up on the screen so we know. But but it smells really really nice. I think it's called some whatever. It's nice. But I think this is a tea that goes well with like if you put milk and shit in that. Milk and stuff.
I love milky teas.
Okay. Ooh, nice Santa Claus thing. Although we're in February technically.
We're not filming early or anything.
No. So, hi Vicky.
Hi, Linda.
Hello. Welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope your holidays
Hi.
were nice. Well, actually, it's February.
It's February.
It's been a long time since.
It's been a long time since the holidays, guys.
Ipsy. But okay, technically, if we're gonna release this, that means it's Valentine's Day soon. Love is in the air like COVID was. Hopefully by February it's not.
One can only hope.
Anyways, yes. So, what have you been up to these days?
I've been doing a lot of crafting, but less crafting and more like cricketing. So a lot of like making bags and sweatshirts and stuff. And eventually I'll probably end up making our merch. So that would be fun.
True. Do you think it'll be out by February? If so, the link is here. If not, the link is not here. Lol. It's like project.
One day.
Hilarious.
We're manifesting here.
I know. Okay. So what have I been up to? Well, 2 months ago I made banana bread and it's here. Okay, and it was my first banana bread. But I have to ask you, I don't understand how, like the bottom of the banana bread is kind of like this. What's that mean?
Mushy?
Not mushy. Is it like it didn't rise enough?
I think it maybe, I don't know how your oven works, but sometimes the bottom doesn't cook as much as the center. And I also think it just condenses towards the bottom. Like most banana breads I've seen have that little darkness there.
True. Okay, I'll try next time maybe. Put it like more in the middle. No idea. Anyways, so the show today, we are talking about Bridget Jones Diary.
In time for Valentine's Day.
Hearts.
It doesn't work. It's not as cute.
You have to do it with an attitude. You have to do it with your face.
Love me.
Exactly. Do you want to give us a summary, Vicky?
Sure. So, Bridget Jones's Diary is a movie that takes place in the early 2000s, but this movie kind of follows Bridget through her 33rd through 34th birthday as she tries to make changes in her life. The problem is that every time she kind of sets herself up for something, it goes in the complete opposite direction. So this movie is kind of her taking back her power through like awful relationships, bad work situations, and finding love in a way that's healthy for her.
Don't wanna be all by myself anymore.
Like it's like the traditional rom-com. Like she gets a happy ending kind of deal at the end of this.
Exactly. She gets the kiss at the end, and we assume if there was no like other movies, then she's happy, you know?
Exactly. What did you think about it this time that you watched it? Because you've watched it many times, right?
Yeah, at least 30 times.
Okay.
For this time, I actually had a conversation with some friends who were those things. But watching this movie, watching it again, I thought it was like super satirical and funny movie, and a funny movie that you don't really take serious. It is definitely not someone who's a role model. You kind of look at like watching someone else kind of in the dumps, and you're like, okay, at least my life is not that bad. And then you kind of like hope for the best for her. Like that's every time I watch it, that's what I feel. Like I just want the best for Bridget and hope that she like finds confidence in herself. I know it's gonna happen, but you know, like I think she's a likable character, and she's kind of relatable, but not someone you look up to. So yeah. And your impression?
I think maybe this is like the second time I've consciously watched it. And then while I was watching it, I remember, oh, this is the second time I've watched this. Because the first time I guess I really didn't like connect or whatever. But the second time, since I'm paying attention, I'm like, yeah, she is a very likable character. But I personally, I do not see herself in me because I think we're very different people. Because she's always so weirdly clumsy. I am ish, but not in public. I try not to be. You know what I
I'm the
mean?
person that always like trips on the metro or like finds myself dropping shit. Oh, it's so bad.
I
And then I
see.
hope and there's this one time I was dancing between racks at at Concordia, and then someone saw me, and for like 3 months after that, he would do the dance I was doing every time he passed me by. So bad. So I'm very much like Bridget Jones. But yes, continue.
I see. But yeah, and I thought it was funny. For me, it was like because it's a British movie, right? It's a British film, supposedly. Although, you know, Renee Zellweger, she's American, but it's set in London.
It's definitely a British movie.
Yeah, like the language and everything, I was so surprised by when they were just saying tits and fuck and did she say whore?
And pants instead of underwear.
Pants. Really?
Pants.
Underpants?
Yeah.
Did she say?
No, she's like, you remember the scene where she's like walking and she has her underwear stuck to her leg? She's like, always throw last night's pants into the laundry bin. And there's an actual English version that changes a lot of the language.
Oh, okay.
It's weird. Yeah.
That is weird.
Like an American English version, I should say.
Yeah, but
and
it's
they
funny.
say panties.
Yeah, and it's funny how in our minds or whatever, like the American mind of like English people, they're so proper. So when you like hear them say, like especially Daniel, the characters say like really like dirty things to like Bridget, you're like, ooh, I thought so.
How dare you more?
P.S. Like your tits in that top.
So that was really funny and like that caught me off guard. Would you watch this on a date? Do you recommend this as a date movie since we're like approaching February 14th?
I think it's a good date movie with like your significant other who knows you, but I wouldn't watch it as like a Netflix and chill or like a first date movie. Well, not even a first date, like just getting to know each other movie because I don't know.
It's a bit too much.
I don't know if it's too much. I just feel like it's one of those movies you watch when you need like a kick in the ass, like an uplifting movie type of thing. And I don't know if you like, and it's very like feminine humor, I guess, like things that would happen to women most of the time. So like watching it with a guy, I guess, I don't know, I don't want to be like sexist, but maybe not like picking up on certain jokes or certain situations that happen because it's definitely like awkward body humor and like feeling out of place constantly, all these things.
I think it's a more of a girlfriends movie. Like if you're like single with all your girlfriends on like that and you decide to like have a watching party or whatever, I think that's a good one. With a new person, I don't think so because it's not, I don't know, because she's looking for true love in the movie and it's just going to be awkward if it's a Netflix and chill one.
Exactly, because there's so much pressure.
You're definitely hanging out with a Daniel. Like 95% of the time it's going to be a Daniel. 98.
How could he leave me?
I don't know. You seem lovely.
The whole movie, she's looking for love and romance. And if it's a guy you're just going to end up sleeping with, then it's like, I don't know if I should watch this movie. I don't want you to.
This is not the movie for you.
No.
So the big question is that we talked about was, is it like a relevant movie today? And we want to break it down into a few, I guess maybe scenes like that really represent the topics. So the first one is maybe the social pressure we can talk about.
So in terms of social pressure, we were talking about finding a partner before your mid-30s or finding like a success, like being really good at your job and having these ideas of success that are kind of put onto you more so than things that you actually believe. And I definitely think the the social pressures have changed so that it's even younger. I feel like most people feel like they need to be a wonder kid by the time that they're 25. Like I remember seeing things about Lena Dunham having movies and an HBO show and all these things. So I feel like the pressures are still relevant, but it's for younger people now.
But yeah, like the Kardashians too, no? Let's say Kylie, she has like how many kids? One?
One
But she
kid,
has like $1 billion company and like I don't know, is it a husband? I don't know.
I don't know if she's
Baby
married.
daddy. But we get
Yeah.
the vibe, you know, it's like you gotta be young and you gotta do everything before you're 35.
Yeah, and I think the social pressures are different because you see a lot of people wanting to fit into a certain aesthetic. You see them wanting to have like the perfect job, or if they have a business, they have to have 1 million followers and they're constantly sending out like shipments and all these things. It's like these different pressures from a different place, because I think in Bridget Jones, the people around her are a lot older. Like her parents are like her mom is the one who's kind of forcing her to like be with someone. She's always trying to match make, and it
Mm-hmm.
never really works out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's just that part. I don't know if that continues into our time, because I think like that's an older generational problem type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. Like I don't even think I would never expect my parents to match make me.
As an Asian person, it's a bit more, I think, although I like I don't really have like too much traditional like parents, but there is like or extended family, they would ask you like, oh, so when are you finding a partner? Or like, even though I'm not, how do you say, because they're in China, so I don't get like the 24/7 thing. But and they're not like that kind of aggressive people either, but you do feel it. So it's like a cultural thing, I'm guessing. And I think a lot of like
Mhm.
other cultures too, like South Asians maybe.
Why is it there are so many unmarried women in their 30s these days, Bridget?
I don't know in terms of American, and for most of my family, I think because my mom's side of the family was very much like, you don't need a man, you do your own stuff. Like it was very much like, and my mom didn't really grow up with her dad, so
Mm.
it's very much like a matriarchal like family. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's all sisters, one brother.
Mm-hmm.
So I never really felt that pressure
Mm-hmm.
to have to
Mm-hmm.
marry or find a boyfriend or anything like that.
True. From the exterior. However, we were talking
From
about the fact that
Oh yes.
we and you were very different people in the sense when we talk about relationships, because you wanted to have a relationship and you do, and you are in one now. And
Yes.
but I asked you like, why did you feel the pressure exterior, and you said no. But
But internally I did feel pressure. And I think, I don't know, I think it started in middle school. There's like, it's like that moment where you're kind like, if guys like you, you're kind of defined as the pretty girl. You know what I mean? You get the attention, all the guys want to date you, and I wanted that, but that never happened for me. So I kind of felt like I was an ugly duckling, or like it would never happen for me. And even through university, it didn't happen. So it was kind of like this chase. And I think it was kind of for validation that I was like pretty, or that I was desirable. And I relate to Bridget in that way, just because I feel like that's the kind of validation and social pressure from inside and externally that she's feeling, because she kind of takes these values other people have and kind of makes them her own. So yeah.
yeah, because she always relates self-image to it too, right? She's in her
Hmm.
goal is like lose weight, which is like a self-image thing, and then find a boyfriend, sensible boyfriend. La la la.
Sensible, not perverted, blah 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 blah. And
But
I and it's and it's
sorry, you
like she
go.
has this checklist
Mm-hmm.
of things that will bring her self-confidence out, and I definitely understand that, just because I don't think it's until she rejects Daniel that she's like finally come into her own, and she's like, no, I define my own self-confidence, my own person, and I don't need no man.
Is that basically kind of what happens to you too when you like got into a relationship? You kind of felt that it wasn't that's going to validate your own self-confidence?
Yes, definitely. Because the problems that I had before my relationship continued, and I needed to figure out how to deal with them and realize it's not my boyfriend's problem to like make me always feel pretty. Like I need to do that myself and feel confident in myself, because that's how you scare anyone away. You know, like you can't just like be like, tell me I'm pretty, tell me I'm pretty, tell me I'm pretty all the time.
I feel stunning and entrancing, feel like running and dancing for joy, for I'm loved by a pretty, wonderful boy.
You know, like to tell myself I'm pretty at some point.
At some point.
At some point.
I'm pretty. But you are beautiful. We are all beautiful.
Thank you.
Blah, blah, blah. And so on and so on. Insert positive
Positive quote here.
I know, insert it. I'm too lazy for that. All right. Well, actually, when I think about like being 30 and finding a partner, I think I do want to find a partner, but I think it's less about validation at that point. At that point, it's more like, it's more about like running out of like viable, you know, there's this
childbearing.
No, like, well, maybe yes, for a lot, yes, and at the same time, it's also like viable partners when people are like, oh, all the good ones are gone. I kind of feel it, because I think as a single person and you see good functional relationships, you're always more like, wow, they work, and you're like, oh my god, what if everybody's all messed up like me? That's the ones that are like left behind. But I think logically, I guess you need to find your own kind of complementary messed up person to.
Exactly. Because no one's perfect at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And
except for me.
Sorry, Linda. I didn't mean to burst your bubble there.
What?
But I think what happens is that you put that facade on for the first like 2 months of dating, and at some point someone's gonna have to fart. You know what I mean? Like you need to break the ice and show like I am human. Like there's only so many moments where you like have to hold like the poop that you need to take in front of your partner. You know what I mean? Like that's it.
All right. So what do you think about the workplace kind of like a romance that happens in the beginning to Bridget? Because that's where she's like she meets him. Daniel
Cleaver. Well, so what I thought was interesting about the relationship is how disrespectful he is to her, but how like because it's attention from this guy that she's interested in, you know, she'll take the attention even if it's bad. Like he calls her like, what is it, dirty bitch, and I was just like, imagine if someone talked to me like
in
that.
The email, right? Or was that in the beginning?
No, that's when they went to the dinner after the book launching. And I just felt like I could see,
but he also comments on her tits or something like.
Yeah, he's like like your tits in that top.
I was like,
because I could see my like if there was a guy who was kind of like out of my reach and he was showing me attention, I'd be like, you know. But
yeah, and no matter
do I want attention from a guy?
Yeah, no matter if it was like a workplace or like a school or whatever, right?
Anything. But the thing is, like, do I want attention from a guy who clearly doesn't respect me? And he ends up like trying to hurt her by letting her see that he's cheating on her, and like not defending her when like the woman calls her or does just like alludes to her weight. She doesn't like say anything, and then like he tells her that they're getting engaged. And my jaw drops. It's like, why are you telling me this? Like we broke up, you know, like what I mean?
24 hours ago, not even maybe.
And it's just like, I don't need to know this, my guy. Thank you, but I don't need this shit.
But it's also very it's very comparable to the tits pervert guy, because they kind of give the same attention, right? But one is considered creepy just because she's not attracted to him. I mean,
but also it's not only that she's not attracted to him. No, I don't want to be like he's unattractive, because there's like a definite disparity between the looks. You know what I mean? Like he just like looks at her breasts, and Daniel is like aggressively like groping her butt and different things like that. And my thing, it's like they're both kind of like sexually harassing her, or not even one, and I don't know.
They're
it's just
sexually, but it's not her. Okay, well nowadays it would be sexual harassment, but it's sexual. What is it called? Just like putting it on her. I forgot what the. I'm just blanking out.
I don't know what the word you're looking for is, but I feel like they're, I don't know, I don't want to say like it depends on if someone is attractive or not, but I think it depends on like what you're willing to accept from a person you're attracted to. And I think that at this point Bridget doesn't respect herself enough to be with someone who respects her. And that's why their relationship is just kind of based around sex. Like he's supposed to go on a date with her, and like she's supposed to finally have a date to like a family function, and he kind of leaves her in the dust.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah, and we were saying that basically she placed all her eggs in one basket. It was Daniel. It was like,
yeah,
he was the image in her mind that like if she got with him, no matter like if he was a boss or not, whatever, like because he was like perfect, he had like a good job, he was charismatic, beautiful, hot, he was like everything that she wanted. And then when they were going on that when they were driving onto that to the place, she was basically saying, you know, now she has like the boyfriend, the success and everything.
Yeah, exactly. She's like finally becoming the vixen that she wants to be, like Grace Kelly, but not as elegant. And I think that's her problem, is like it's all about the imagery, like looking successful, looking like she has a good relationship, but she doesn't dig a bit deeper to see like he's only interested in like he wants the chase of having her. You know what I mean? And once he gets her, he's like,
on to the next.
Exactly. The stick insect, she's referred to.
Laura from America. She just had that confidence.
From the American Office.
Yes.
It's something about being younger.
Oh.
Okay. Thank you.